Hello everyone and welcome. I would like to show you today our Strassmayr crack sealing RWK 600 by 500 crack sealing machine. And let me show you the main components, and later on we will discuss about everyday use and everyday work by crack sealing and joint sealing with this machine. So our crack sealing machine is equipped with Kubota diesel engine, which is coupled together with a hydraulic pump, which is delivering all the hydraulic power to the main components like mixers or thermal oil pumps. Other most important component is the yellow burner, which is heating indirectly the 500 liters capacity of the bitumen mastic tank. The mastic tank walls are surrounded by thermal oil, which is heated up to 250 or almost 300 Celsius degrees, and we control this temperature by two main thermostats. We have the one thermostat on the left is designed for the regulation of the temperature of the thermal oil, and the other one is controlling the temperature of the material inside of the tank. The one above is just a security controller, which will blow off if we go over the set up parameters of over 300 Celsius degrees. One thing to mention is that this yellow burner is working on 230 volts. We power this burner through a converter which is fitted here in this compartment together with the battery. Okay, so our machine can be emptied in two ways. First of one is gravitationally, and the second way is with the means of the mastic pump, which is submerged in the mastic material inside of the tank. So let me show you the everyday work which we have to do with this machine. First of all, of course, always check the oil in the Kubota engine. If you have checked the level of the oil, then you can start the engine. Engine controls are built in here. Almost every controls are built on this electrical box, and we start the engine by turning the key into the second position, looking closely for the ignition coils to heat up. Then we turn it on and control the revolutions of the engine by this lever. And for the purpose of this video, I will not have this engine turned on because it makes quite a lot of noise. But let me go through the most important controls of this engine. So here we have the engine key for ignition, then we have the temperature of the coolant. Another one is the working hours of the machine, plugs, oil pressure, and low battery indicator. In the next row we've got the burner switch on, switch off, the burner failure. In case if there is lack of the diesel fuel, this will be lighted in red. The control on the right is telling us exactly how many hours has the burner worked. Another ones are the controls of the safety light on the top and of the compressor, which is located below. This compressor is used to clean the machine from the residue which are left within this wire, which is transferring the bitumen mastic to the joint or to the crack. So it's good to remember that by everyday work, when we turn on the engine, just give a lot of revolution, turn on the air compressor, make sure that the air bottle, which is located on the other side, let us look on that. So we are sure we've got at least 7 bars in here. This is also equipped with the pressostat, so the pressure will automatically turn on and turn off the compressor in order to have 7-8 bars of pressure, which then are used to clean the system. But let us talk about that after we go to the everyday process of everyday work. So we've got the engine started. First thing we do every day is that we turn on the heating. When we turn on the heating, we have to wait until the material begins to be plastic. So we check the two gauges which are located here, which are showing us the temperature of the thermic oil and the temperature of the mastic material which is inside. Let me tell you that we should start the mixer, which is inside of this boiler, mixing the mastic horizontally. We should start it by turning this mixer with this simple switch only when we have reached 150-160 Celsius degrees of the mastic material temperature. Now the other steps are looking for circulation within the material by the pump. For that we have to wait until the material gets the fluid form. So we have to take a look inside, make sure that the material has already split into a smaller blocks, because our machine is also equipped with a grill which has a thermal oil inside it, which helps us split the material before it gets to the mixer, so it prevents the blocking of the mixer. So after we check visually about how fluid the material is, we may start the circulation through the pump. And to do that, we have to take a look on this valve. This valve is a simple two-position valve. It is described in this place. In this way, it is circulating inside, and in the second position, this is giving us the material out by the lamps. But in order to start the pump, we have to manipulate with this lever. So when we want to heat up the system, we start the material mastic pump with this lever. Control the speed. Mostly you will, by first regulations, you will need to put this at the maximum speed. Open the lamps, open the flow through the hose, and then make sure that the pressure of application is correct for you. So you can control this pressure by this simple bolt. When you have this bolt calibrated together with this, you can control the amount of the applicated material. So now the valve is open. We have to make sure that we do not make any problems and do not hurt ourselves. So make sure to close it in order not to spill any more material. Take it out, and now we are ready to work. In order to apply the mastic, we open the valve and create a nice little finish, either in a joint or in a crack. So then we close the valve, put it back, and open the valve back again. So now we are sure that the material is circulating and not cooling down in the hose because it's stopped. So we have the flow, making sure that the fluid is never stuck in the hose. After we have finished our day, we need to clean the hose in order to prevent material from blocking inside. So the material is circulating now. What we need to do is to reverse the pressure of the mastic material inside. So we reverse the flow of mastic thanks to reversed revolutions of this pump. When this material is sucked for about 20 minutes, we can easily detach the hose from this position and connect it to the blower on the right side. Now, by making sure our valve is still open, we blow through this system by doing this purging 3 times. Once, but for a few seconds at a high pressure. So always make sure to bend. Take a look of this pressure gauge. Only blow when you've reached at least 7 bars. Blow it once. Make sure the compressor is on. Wait until it reaches 7 bars again, and do it 3 times. And now after the 3rd time, we know that there's almost no residue left, and we can disconnect the whole system and prepare for the travel. And to prepare for the travel, we put back the the lens into its place, which is located in the front. Always make sure that this lens is open in order for any leftovers, any residue to go back to this simple spot which gathers all the left residues. This place is pretty hot, so if we leave the lens this way, we will be sure that the material, the rest of the material, anything that is left will drop down to this little tank. Now, when it comes to the hose, we just take it from here, disconnect it from the other place, and put it, that's very important, we put it in this spot which is dedicated for the transportation of hose, and we put it here with connectors down. So as you will see, this place is open, especially here we've got a little bit of transparent, for heat transparent space, which will heat up the hose, not hurting it, but of course making any residues drop down to the below tank here. After that, we may safely turn off the engine and just make sure we are prepared for another day of work. So we can just make sure to go back for circulation in here, stop the work of the pump, and turn off the engine. So very simple machine. Just make sure to wear all the safety glasses, safety gloves, as well as the temperatures here are very high. The typical working range of temperatures for the mastic asphalt, for the hot applied joint sealant, are ranging from 160 to 175, even 180 Celsius degrees. So it may be dangerous if you're not careful. But from my side, I think that would be all. So thank you for watching us, and see you by the next machine.